Commission Christian Radio presents I, Caiaphas, written for radio in 8 episodes by Colm Flanagan. Episode 1, Proud to Serve in the Temple.
Come on, folks, drink up your coffee. Let's get to work again. They're waiting for us to finish so they can get on with building on the site. You all know that.
Well, after what we've found, Reuben, they'll have to wait for a bit.
Yes, that's true, Deborah. But they won't wait forever. There are plenty of other first-century tombs around. Still, I think we should try and clear up the smaller grave chambers now. The main part hasn't anything more to offer. The grave robbers have seen to that.
But maybe beyond it. Who knows what we might find, Andrew?
Come on then, let's get started.
Reuben, there's another chamber here, off to the south side.
You're right, Deborah. And look, the robbers must have missed this one. There's 2 burial caskets here. Bring a light, and let's see what we can make out of the inscriptions.
They are coming. At last.
This bigger one has something written on it.
It looks like Joseph.
Common enough name.
But the other, is it son of Caiaphas?
Hard to be sure. I think it's of the family of Caiaphas.
Joseph Caiaphas. Could it be the Caiaphas? The high priest at the time of Jesus of Nazareth? The one who condemned him and took him to Pilate?
Wow! Imagine if that's who it really is.
What a find! What a story he could tell.
Let's not get too carried away. We're archaeologists, not storytellers.
Ah, but I want to tell my story. You know so little about me, and much of what you do know was written by those who saw me as their enemy. I am writing this document in the year AD 69, as you would call it, nearly 2,000 years before your time. The hour is late, and I'm sitting in the study of my house overlooking the city of Jerusalem. Everyone else in the household is sleeping. But tonight, I cannot and I will not sleep. I hear the call of the watchman on the city walls, and I shiver, despite the warm night air. For I know that beyond these walls is encamped the legions of the Roman army. Jerusalem will fall, and I fear for my people. The revolt was not of my making, yet for some reason I feel as though I am somehow implicated. Yet I was a friend of the Romans, or at least an ally of the governors of Judea, as they called this part of our land. Listen to my story, and then make your mind up. Was I right in what I did? It sounds such an easy question to answer. Yes or no. If only life were that simple. So, I must go back in time many more years, to the time when I was a newly appointed priest in our temple, and very proud of it.
Joseph, where are you?
Here, love, over here.
What are you doing, Joseph Caiaphas? Oh, I might have guessed. Reading again. The scriptures, I expect.
Well, of course, my love. What else would you expect?
Well, I thought you were going to look for some new lamps for the reception room. You know, those old ones are just about black with ingrained soot. But I will send one of the servants out. But I need to do some shopping anyway, so maybe I'll go myself.
Judith, my wife. We weren't long married, and she had become my closest friend as well as my lover. Those were happy days for us, even if I did think she was just a bit too house-proud. Yet later... but I mustn't get ahead of my story. And by the way, my name is Joseph. The name Caiaphas, by which I am known today, was a kind of family nickname, like John the Butcher or James the Baker. And the nickname became a kind of official family name. I was often called Caiaphas, but those closest to me called me Joseph.
Joseph, Judith, I'm glad to find you here.
Hello, Father. We don't often see you here at this time.
No, indeed, my dear, but I've got some news I think you ought to hear, and it will concern you too, Joseph.
My father-in-law, Annas. He was a member, the senior member really, of one of our aristocratic families. Many of his ancestors had been high priests in their time, and Annas had naturally become a priest as well. He was normally an urbane and serene kind of man, but today he looked perturbed.
So, Annas, what's happened then?
Herod Archelaus, our so-called king, has been deposed. Quirinius, the Roman legate in Syria, has decreed it.
Why?
I don't know exactly, but I think the Romans haven't much time for the Herods, really, and Archelaus is a nasty piece of work.
Yes, he killed over 3,000 of our people, and I think just to prove to the Roman Emperor Augustus how much of a hard man he could be.
Not to mention living with his brother's widow, even though her second husband is still alive. Some behaviour for a so-called king of the Jews.
But the Romans never called him that, though.
True. Officially he was an ethnarch, which shows that the emperor wasn't entirely fooled by him. So he's gone. Well, we're rid of him.
Banished, I believe. Told to go and live in some remote place in the mountains, far from Rome, and here too.
So what now? What difference will all this make for us and for the temple?
I don't know yet, but no doubt we will hear before too long. One thing you can be sure, the Romans won't leave things unsettled for long. That's not their style.
Annas was right. It wasn't very long before he was summoned to a meeting with the most important Roman official in the region, Legate Quirinius. Quirinius kept an eye on the events in our part of Israel, known as Judea, for years. In fact, he'd even ordered a full census so he could get a better picture of what was going on. Judith and I were sitting in the garden, enjoying the calm of the early evening, when Annas returned.
Father, how good to see you returned.
Yes, indeed. My dear, how are you? And you, Joseph?
Oh, I'm fine, but I'm dying to know what has happened. You were away quite some time. What did Quirinius say?
Oh, Joseph, let the poor man sit down. Father, would you like a drink?
Yes, Judith, that would be very welcome. Yes, that was good. Now, where was I?
Your news.
Ah, yes.
Well?
Oh, Joseph, don't be so impatient.
Well, I have some important news for both of you.
Oh, Father, come on, don't keep us in suspense. It's not fair.
Not fair, no. I suppose it would be entirely wrong for the high priest to be unfair to his closest family, wouldn't it?
High priest?
You sound surprised, Joseph.
Well, no,
it's... Father, it's wonderful news. Congratulations.
Yes, indeed, sir. May I congratulate you too. Our temple and our faith will be in good hands now. I know it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Father, will you stay to eat with us? Or do you have to get back to the temple straight away?
Oh, no, my dear Judith. Though, of course, I shouldn't say it. The temple can wait for a while. I would love to stay.
I'll go and tell his servants to set another place at the table. Please excuse me.
Actually, Joseph, there's something I need to tell you, but I didn't really want Judith to be bothered with it.
Oh? And what's that?
You remember Varus?
Legate Varus. Oh, yes. I remember him. The Roman butcher.
Actually, everyone in Judea remembered Varus. How could we forget him? He'd been responsible for one of the bloodiest incidents in our recent troubled history.
As you know, Varus destroyed the city of Sepphoris in Galilee. Then he chased down the leaders of the revolt and crucified over 2,000 of them. He sold off their wives and children into slavery as well. It was a disaster for our nation. We must see to it that that sort of thing doesn't happen again.
But Varus is gone now, surely. Isn't he in charge of one of those cold northern parts of the empire? What's it called? Germany or something like that?
Yes, he can't be far enough away for us. But I brought him up for a reason.
I don't doubt that.
Legate Quirinius. He has decided to hold a census.
Oh, I see.
Well, you know how our people react to that kind of thing. King David himself got into terrible trouble with the Lord when he held one. We are a free people. We don't take kindly to bureaucrats numbering us and our possessions and telling us what to do. Quirinius has made it clear to me that he holds us responsible for keeping the peace during this one. No firebrand preaching was how he put it.
But it's hard to stop it. We'll have plenty of prophets doing just that, if I'm not mistaken.
And that's what I fear. I think we may be in for a tough time.
My father-in-law was right. The census did provoke quite a lot of resistance, although, as always, the majority of the people simply complied and got on with their lives. But some did not.
Joseph, have you heard the latest?
No. What's happened?
I heard it when I was in the city. There's been a revolt in Galilee.
Not again. I thought they'd hold back this time.
It seems not. A man called Judas is behind it. What can we do?
Us? Nothing at all. Let's hope it doesn't spread. Otherwise we could be in for a very difficult time, to say the least.
True to his word, Quirinius marched into Galilee and suppressed Judas's revolt. This time, though, the fighting was relatively limited. Judas himself was killed, and some of his followers, but Quirinius decided not to adopt Varus's tactic of large-scale crucifixions, so the people were spared that. But they weren't spared new and much heavier taxes, though, and the Roman governor was replaced.
The problem for us priests is that half the people think we oppress and rob them nearly as much as the Romans. The other half think we should be leading a revolt against them and getting them out. And in the middle are the groups who just regard us as bureaucrats and not religious leaders who care about God and our people at all. Like those folk down at the Dead Sea, the Essenes.
Oh, Father, surely not. Many people respect you.
Well, to our faces anyway. But when our backs are turned, I'm not so sure.
There are times I just think you should give it all up and live a quiet life.
That just wouldn't be possible.
You know, love, it is our duty before God to keep his temple and the sacrifices which will ultimately save our people Israel.
Oh, I do know that. It's just sometimes when I hear all of what is going on, I get a bit depressed and fed up with it.
Things will calm down. You'll see.
And I have some good news for you today, Joseph. I want you to take over the post of second in command of the Temple Guard. As you know, that means you'll be responsible for the day-to-day management of affairs. It will be a good training for you in understanding the wider workings of the temple and not just the ritual part of it.
Oh, Joseph, it's an honour for you.
Indeed. Thank you. I'm pleased that you place such high trust in me, sir.
Oh, indeed I do. I'm sure that one day you will be High Priest. Not yet for a while, of course, but I believe that you will have a major role to play in the affairs of our people.
High Priest? Oh, Father, do you really think so? What a thing to look forward to.
High priest one day? I could barely take it in. I set about learning my duties with even more keenness than I'd shown before. And things in the country seemed to settle. We had a succession of governors, but the legate in Syria found no cause for interfering, and so life in Judea carried on in a more even tenor for some years. But then, once again, everything changed.
In episode 1 of I, Caiaphas by Colm Flanagan, Caiaphas was played by Peter Richardson, his wife Judith by Jeanette McCormick, and Annas by Hugh Finlay. Other parts were played by members of the Commission radio drama team. The play was produced in Belfast at Commission Studio, and episode 2 is entitled High Priest.